Another fighter fighting on this card is Martin Murray. Now, we had the chance to talk to him after this, but he's going into a difficult fight after this fight that he's fighting on Saturday against George Groves. Now, how much was it to you for that fight to be made? Because it's on such a big card like Anthony Joshua's that it adds a lot of spice to that card.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we know what we're doing, you know. Anthony Joshua's at a level now where he's going to be boxing on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Dominic Breazeale fight is a more than credible first defence. And I think people agree with that, but they just decide, is it pay-per-view or not? So you have to build a package and a night where people say, yes, it is.
Okay.
And I think with a Groves against Murray fight, there's a fight that could sell out the O2 on its own. So, and that's not, we're not finished there. You know, we need another big name and a big fight, which will be delivered over the next few days. So, I think it was important to get that kind of fight. I feel like the Charles Martin fight was all about Anthony challenging for the world title. The undercard was good, but it probably lacked that Groves-Murray kind of fight. You know, it's quite unusual to have a fight like Groves-Murray as chief support on any card.
Yeah, of course.
But to do it on that card is great. It's great for the people in the arena. It's great for the people at home. And there's more to come.
And in regards to that card, Anthony Joshua fighting Dominic Breazeale, like you said, the only debate is whether it should be pay-per-view or not. Because it's his first defence, and obviously that's the case. But is it the fact that sometimes you get pay-per-views where, for example, Fury Klitschko, you probably didn't need undercard to that because nobody.
There was no undercard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But nobody would need to talk about the main event. But for this one, do you feel like you need to heavily pack the undercard?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, look, we know we're going to do a load of buys with Anthony Joshua anyway. But it's not just about being. You know, lackadaisical with our promotion and our value for money. We've got to give value for money all the time. So in this case, if there's any concern about the value for money, we make sure that we 100% give it for our customers. And you do that by adding a great night of action. And you know, when we saw Breazeale yesterday, it was great. You know, he came, he give it, he stuck it on Joshua's toes. I think it made a few people go, blimey. And he's 17-0, he's a hungry guy. It's not a guy who's just coming over, who's just like had a couple of defeats, he's coming for the money. This is a guy who believes he can win. He was disappointed with Charles Martin's performance. But again, Anthony Joshua doesn't get the credit that he deserves for the Charles Martin victory. You know, before that fight, Fury, these people saying he's going to knock Joshua out. Why is Joshua taking a risk? 6'6" southpaw. You know, Joshua comes out, faultless performance, slip right hand that no one even saw, and everyone says, "Oh, Charles Martin was useless." You know, that's like kind of like the British mentality, isn't it? You know, and rather than saying, "Wow, what a performance," people say, "Oh, Martin was rubbish."
See, I think I see what I think. You know, there's a lot of people that are not really taken to the Breazeale fight. If you look around, but the reason why. I've spoken to some of them and they've said the reason why because Steven's name was involved initially. So when people started to think about Steven, they're like, Joshua, Steven, wow, what a fight. But then it turned out to be Breazeale, and then
you know what? Every fight or every option you take, people are going to pick holes in. So like you look at Steven, he nearly got stopped by Derek Rossi in his last fight or the fight before. So someone's going to mention that. Like Eric Molina was a guy we liked as well. He's been knocked out in a round by Areola. So you know what people are going to say. Some guy come up to me here today and said, "Oh, what do you think of the Breazeale fight?" He said, "I'll troll you on Twitter." I said, "Oh, do you?" I said, "That's nice." I said, "Thank you for introducing yourself." And he asked me for a photo, by the way, which I thought was ironic. And he said to me, "What about Andy Ruiz?" I went, "Mate, have you seen a picture of Andy Ruiz?" He went, "Yeah, but he's deceivingly fast." I went, "You don't understand. When you're selling something and you put Andy Ruiz up there, what are people going to say?" So, you know, you can never win. But I feel as though we got a good world heavyweight title fight between a 16-0 with 16 knockouts and a 17-0 with 15 knockouts. Two Olympians, two undefeated fighters, two huge punchers, and we sold out in 30 minutes. So it can't be that bad.
And obviously the other news that broke was Joshua's inking a Showtime multi-fight deal. You know, how much does that mean to yourself? Because you bought this boxer from the start. And now he's doing big things, and you know, eventually his name's going to be all over.
Well, I think you know the criticism for me in the past has been, well, he's never built a fighter from scratch. Well, I haven't been in the game long enough. I mean, Anthony Joshua's still one of my first fighters that I signed, really, from scratch, from the debut. And look where we've gone with him. You're only as good as a fighter you represent, and you're only as good as the broadcaster that you work with as a promoter. And I got the best in both. So I'm you know, I'm blessed in many respects, but we're doing a good job as well. The Showtime deal was one of the most pleasing commercial moments of my career so far.
Okay.
Anthony was excited, but not as excited as I was, because he didn't really understand what a big deal it was. And there aren't any British fighters that are signing those kind of deals for that kind of money with American broadcasters. Fighters are getting on, you know, fight by fight deals, maybe with an option if they win, and some have been opponents, but no one's signing, you know, long-term multi-fight deals for huge money. And I think it's a tribute to Anthony Joshua. I think it's a tribute to us as well, and I think it's a tribute to British boxing that people are standing up and taking note. And you know, all these guys are looking out and looking in on British boxing and saying, it's crazy over there. You know, I was at Washington with James DeGale, great show, but
I was
you know,
ask you
1,000
about
people there. You know, it's like no energy. No, it's so flat. It's a double world title fight in the 168-pound division. You know, we're smashing it over here, and you know, if it might be a case that I'll go to America and show them how it's done. You know, because it's frustrating sometimes, because I know I can do it. You know, but we've got a lot to do over here as well. And you know, the America thing was talked about for a while for us, but the focus on here is, you know, I don't want to take my eye off the ball in the UK, because that's our core market.
See, with Joshua, you know, you have fighters who are well known to hardcore fans. So there's obviously a split in boxing fans. So there's hardcore and casuals.
Yeah.
Joshua seems to get the hardcores talking, whether it's on his side or not. And he gets like, I know a lot of casuals. So you get casuals who just buy through. For you, it's a dream.
That's why he's so big. You can't be big amongst the hardcore. I mean, Guillermo Rigondeaux's big amongst the hardcore. I mean, it hasn't done him any favours. The hardcore love to attack fighters and things that the casuals love and enjoy. And Anthony Joshua's a great example. Like the amount of stick that he gets from the hardcore, he don't even see it, but I see it.
Yeah, of course.
But the casuals, which might be 90% of the market, love him. So it doesn't really matter. But everybody should be, you know, it's like if you, the hardcores, if you like Matchroom shows or you like going to them, as far as the hardcores are concerned, you're a complete prat and you're deluded, you know. But it's okay, you know. I think anyone with any brain cell has to just look at the landscape at the moment and realise what is happening in British boxing and how great it is. And if you're a real boxing fan, you should be pleased. Really, you should be thinking, wow, look at where we come from. Like, it was terrible 4 or 5 years ago, and you know, people should be excited.
Hey, fight fans, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you download the Behind the Gloves app. It's free, and it features really cool stuff like a fight calendar that reminds you of all the upcoming fights, and it allows for you to, with one click, to remind yourself directly to your phone. And it also features 24/7 breaking news that's going on in boxing. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that and subscribe to this channel.